Hello everyone, this is me, Dusty Circuit here, and I have not actually done one of these computer-related vlog kind of videos in a long time, so maybe I figured I might provide an update. And well, really nothing has changed since my last video, though. Nothing major hardware-wise has changed with my computer. Though I will say it has been running pretty well, and I'm actually not really haven't been playing that many games that are really demanding. Well, the one exception to that I would say would be my modded Kerbal Space Program, which uses a lot of RAM and also taxes the GPU pretty hard because it's using a lot of the graphic mods such as Black Rack's Volumetric Clouds and version 5 now, which I think came out about a month ago, and also the Parallax Continued mod. Though as far as the performance in Minecraft, it's still largely the same as how it was before. Well, I kind of want to say maybe the Minecraft performance maybe has come down a little bit, especially with shaders on. But I might not be correct. I'd have to look at maybe my last video that I made talking about talking about my computer performance. But we've entered a pretty dark time in the PC market these days because of the, well, basically this growing boom in AI data centers has taken up basically most of the stock of DDR5, which has caused the price of DDR5 RAM to skyrocket. And then also people, probably some people panic buying, and other companies that buy RAM to build computers, and but I guess most specifically system integrators that are making pre-built computers have maybe also caused DDR4 prices to go up. And so now the prices of DDR5 and DDR4 RAM are just insane, and which is basically made. And also SSD prices have gone up too, which means basically the cost of new computer builds now is insane, which kind of makes my decision to upgrade to the AM5 platform when I did quite good for me, because, well, if I had waited until now to purchase my my new hardware, well, I would that would not be possible now. But for me, the upgrade was out of necessity because my previous AM4 hardware stopped working, and well, I needed to replace my CPU and motherboard in order to keep using my computer. And well, it just made sense to me at that time to at least buy into the new platform. So if at any point in the future I want to upgrade, put a CPU upgrade in my computer, that door will be open for me. And or if I never upgrade my CPU, at least I'll have a good solid platform to power my computer well into the future. Well, for me, this is a ship that's already sailed, but uh, I have been using for the past couple of years. I have been using Windows 11, like as like on my daily on my main computer that I use every day. And for quite a few people, that is too painful of a pill to swallow. But for me, I don't mind it at all, really. It's, well, sure, there are some things that are different that I had to adapt to. But for the most part, I don't mind Windows 11 at all. And, like, I mean, sometimes, uh, sometimes I get updates that try to push me into like, oh, getting like getting like Microsoft Office and like those other things like Microsoft tries to push you into. But I just, as soon as I get through that stuff and get through clicking no for all of it, it's just like, for the most part, it's just like, this feel of using Windows 11 feels just like using Windows 10. And yeah, I am aware that Linux is an option, but just I've adapted so much to using Windows 11 that I just have largely felt no need to want to do that. But if at any point in the future Microsoft does something terrible that I can't stand, that I can no longer stand using Windows any longer, that door is still open for me. And also, I do have I have a computer that's just sitting next to my desk that's not being used, which I can use to test drive Linux on. Though I guess now I actually technically have two computers that I could use, because there's that computer that I built a computer to give to my mom because she's been using an old computer that's started having problems, and I've offered to build her a new computer so she can at least get onto like Windows 11. But where my mom is just, let's just say, they're misinformed and they believe in all this stuff. That's how Wi-Fi supposedly gives you cancer in like 10 years or whatever the claim is, and how like basically they're afraid, like they claim that the new computer made them feel bad and even though the computer did not have Wi-Fi, and it just seems like no amount of me trying to convince them will make them use the new computer. So I guess they just bought another old computer from eBay and they're just using that. And so I guess that computer is now without a purpose. So I guess if Dad needs a computer, that's open for them, but I don't know, maybe for now I'll use that computer for maybe to test Linux on. And maybe one day when I'm bored, I might install Linux on that computer and actually give it a try of using it for my daily tasks. And maybe I also might try like other programs that I rarely use, but at some point would like to use, and see how that goes. Now, for the time being, Windows 11 is tolerable for me, and it's just the way I see it. I rather be yes, like Windows 10 has the extended support, but I rather be updated and not have to, and have security updates than to take my chances with using a operating system that will be unsupported soon. And I have not installed, I have not had to use antivirus software since Windows 7, and I have not gotten any like serious malware infections on my computer. Well, I mean, the last time I had anything serious with malware was like a time I think I was using my well, for those of you who watched the All the Computers I've Owned series I made, that happened when I was using the HP Pavilion computer. I think it was the third computer I talked about in that series. And I think what happened was I wanted trying to install WinRAR, and I guess I downloaded it from a sketchy website, and it installed this package of bloatware along with it, and then I uninstalled that, and then I reinstalled the computer, and it didn't it just went to a black screen and didn't do anything. And I think I just had we just took it back to the computer shop we got it from, and they reinstalled Windows on it for me. And but after that, I have not had any problem. I have not had any serious malware infections so far. And I'm fairly careful with like what websites I go to. And even if even in a situation where I want to download, or I have to download something from a sketchy site, I use I use this online tool called Virus Total. So basically an online like tool that you can either run a URL by or a file by, and it'll scan it for any serious malware. And using that, I've been, and just my general common sense, I've not had any malware on my computer, or at least that I know about. But even still, I would like to have the I would like to have the modern. I'd like to be up to date with the Windows security updates, just so that'll give me yet another line of defense against getting viruses. And for the most part, I can live with Windows 11, and a few of my friends cannot, but that's their problem. So now that that's out of the way, uh, like as far as possible future upgrades, I'm considering getting a graphics card, but that is probably not going to happen for quite some time, given, well, even when the prices are more or less normal, the price of what I'd like to upgrade to from, I think, my RTX 3060, which I have currently right now, like I'd be looking at like at least maybe like a $500 graphics card upgrade to get what I really want. Though if I wanted to go lower, I could probably spend as low as maybe $350, but that'll only get me about a 50%, like maybe that might get me a 3070 or uh like a 9060 or an RX, like an RX 9060 or an RX 6700 XT. But I would really like, but that those will give me about a 50% uplift in graphics performance. But I really would like to double it, which would mean I'd have to get a 3080, a 4070, or probably a 5060 Ti, or an RX 9070, or a 77 or 7800 XT. But for right now, the 3060 actually is plenty powerful enough for most of what I do. And I mean, while it would be nice to maybe be able to maintain closer to what my monitor's refresh rate is, like in this Minecraft world right now, like that was with me moving around. If I just stay still, like it would be nice if maybe I could maintain above 100 FPS right here, but like if I'm not looking at the FPS, like I can, this is still plenty snappy enough. I mean, even if I were to, use the Elytra, I mean, like this is plenty playable for me. And by the way, this is what my settings are. Like all these are turned on. And this are what I have the shader settings on. It says custom, but the only setting really I changed, like I think I basically have all high settings. Though I think the only thing I changed away from that was turning on advanced colored lighting. I think I can show like basically I have it on like so basically makes rooms like my portal room look quite pretty. Like say if I were to turn that off, like this is with it off. And this is with it on. Yeah, it does seem to at least have a noticeable impact on frame rate. Or I don't know, maybe. Oh, so in this world with that off, I'm able to get 90 FPS. But with it on, it drops to about 75. And I mean, yeah, when I'm in my base here, it does drop a little bit. Like it's at 50 right now, and with it off, it still doesn't. It does seem to make that big of a difference here, weirdly enough, but. Yeah, it makes quite a bit of the visual difference here. Yeah, well, frame rate in here is gonna be kind of low because there's so much like water effects that I had that are being rendered. But I would still say for the most part, I still mostly play Minecraft without shaders on. But mostly just because, well, for the longest time, I just didn't have good enough computer performance to use them to actually play with shaders on. Though now I do for the most part, and it's. I mean, when I'm not looking at the frame rate, like I can still like this is still plenty This is still plenty playable. Like if I'm not obsessing over what number of FPS I'm getting. I mean, if it wasn't for me having a 165 hertz monitor, I'd be totally, as long as it's 60 FPS, I'd totally be happy about it. But I mean, even on this monitor, 60 it still feels smooth enough. But Well, before I end this video off, I guess I'll talk temperatures. So the this it seems like for most of like the AM5 platform outside of the X3D CPUs, it seems like the the boost curve. I don't know if that's the right term, but it's seems like all the non-X3D CPUs boost pretty aggressively, at least out of the box. And like basically I don't know if you can see it very well, but like the temperature right now, just me chilling in my portal room, is like around the lower to mid 70s. So kind of bounces around quite a bit. But and whenever I go to a new area, it actually spikes up pretty high. And I don't know whether or not to be worried about like the CPU temperature going that high affecting CPU lifespan, but I actually experimented with setting an 85 degrees C platform thermal throttling limit, and I mean, even and I've seen, even with the CPU constantly running into that, like I haven't really noticed it really affecting performance much, if at all. And really the only place I noticed the performance difference of that is on like if I run Cinebench, it kind of might affect the score slightly, but outside of that, I barely notice any difference in the performance. And I think if anything, I would rather err on a little less performance, but with lower operating temperatures. But it's just so far I haven't really been that brave enough to really change the settings in the BIOS. Though I did recently play with Curve Optimizer a little bit, and I found that my particular CPU is not stable below, I think, like 15, with negative 15 with the Curve Optimizer. Like negative 20 seems to be stable, at least in gaming, but if I run OCCT, that gives errors. So but then when I upped it to 15, OCCT passed without errors. So I'll be going with that. Just for what I'm gonna leave it at. But as you can see, at least for individual cores, are able to boost all the way up to 5.5 gigahertz. And unlike all core speed seems to be to hover around 5 gigahertz, which I'm plenty happy. I'm plenty happy with. And as of just recently, I also installed a new fan control program. Okay, so this is it. It's literally it's just called fan control, and I was brought on to like the existence of this program by Nulari, or they formerly went by Alyssa, but they changed their name to Nulari. And so just kind of what my current settings are currently at. I've just basically what you can how this works is you can set like where you want where you want it to get the temperature reading from, which is what the sensors is for. And I have it both I just have a mix which is taking both the CPU and the GPU temperature. And I guess this is averaging those out. And then my curves are like this is using both those temperatures here. And then I have over here CPU fan curve, and these two curves are for case fans, which I've kind of adjusted to give more or less a noise level that I'm okay with under max CPU load. And then this is where I've defined what fans are being controlled. Which for my computer, that's this is the CPU fan that's in the CPU heatsink, and then this is the front and rear case fans. But my top case fans are controlled through my top case fans are controlled through IQ because, well, I decided to splurge a little bit and I got the IQ RX Link fans only because so in my case previously I had two 140 millimeter well, I don't remember the name of them off the top of my head, but they're 140 millimeter RGB Corsair fans, which I have all hooked up to the same controller as my other Corsair fans, which came with my case, which is the Corsair 5000D RGB airflow. But the 240 millimeter fans, one of those developed a bit of bearing noise, which I could temporarily make go away if I put like oil in the fan bearing, but it would always come back. So I decided to just replace those fans, but I could not for the life of me find replacements for those fans. Like it just seemed like they just weren't being I couldn't find them on Amazon. I couldn't find them anywhere. So I ended up just splurging a bit, and I bought I think it was the kit of 340 millimeter, 120 millimeter RX Link fans, and that also comes with the control hub for that. And the big thing about that system is the fans can connect together, and it only requires one cable to go to the controller. But it is kind of a bespoke proprietary Corsair thing, which you can only use like Corsair's fans with, and well, if one of those fans stops working, I will have to go with another Corsair RX fan to replace it. But I'm somewhat confident they should last longer because they have I think it's called maglev bearings, which is actually different from what most fans use, which I mean, I'm confident those should last longer, but I think what I might go with next if I replace fans is maybe I found that Corsair now sells a fan that also is that uses uh that uses the motherboard addressable RGB header, which I might go with next, but that also means I may not be able to use IQ to control the RGB. And well, the main reason I'm kind of using Corsair stuff is because I do kind of like this software. It lets you control the RGB, and also you can download RGB profiles that other people have created. So you can if I want customized RGB effects, I can download that and then customize it from there. But maybe in the future I might, I think there's a program called Signal RGB, which will work with a wide, which basically is just it's supposed to be a brand, like a company or a brand agnostic RGB software that will communicate with any RGB devices. And say if I had Corsair RGB fans mixed with I don't like with Arctic RGB fans, I could control both of those with that software, supposedly. Though I haven't tried it yet. But on one more thing, I guess I can talk about before I end this off. I did also purchase for my second monitor, I purchased a adjustable monitor stand, mostly because I wanted to experiment with using my second monitor in a vertical or portrait orientation, for using Discord. But I've found that in most cases that using it like that is I think I rather prefer it being horizontal, because sometimes I use Discord on that screen, but sometimes I also watch YouTube. So for watching YouTube, I rather it be horizontal. And also I found the vertical orientation doesn't really work with my desk all that well. So the main reason why I wanted to try that is some skaters on the skate Discord are actually don't talk with mics. They stay muted, and they use primarily the text channels to talk. And tell and one of them being Taliesin, who also tends to stream video games. Whenever they talk, they use the text chat. They don't use a microphone. And so if I want to see their messages, I have to have Discord up on my screen. I have to have the stream be in a window where Discord is using up the rest of my monitor, so I can still see their messages. which kind of is a bit of a pain, but it's something I can live with. And part of me wishes that I had enough desk space to have 3 monitors so I could have Discord chat on one monitor and Discord streams on another monitor, but I don't really have the desk space to do that, so 2 monitors it is for me until I can get a new desk. So I think that's about it for this update. And I don't know if I'll give another computer update anytime soon. I don't know, maybe if I decide to change a setting, or if I get a major upgrade in the future, maybe. But I feel like this is might be the last computer related video I'll be making for a little while. So if you liked what you saw, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want to see my next videos, be sure to hit the bell for notifications. So if you liked what you saw, remember to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to be sure to hit the bell for notifications. And peace out. Bye.